Welcome back to Mr. Jeffrey's class. Hopefully we can get our subscribers up to 60. There will be a 60 subscriber special. But today for Algebra 1, we are talking about GCF and factoring by grouping. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit subscribe. Just because you subscribe does not mean that you get extra points. I have tons of people that subscribe that they do not watch the videos, and they come in, they say, I wasn't here yesterday. Well, that's not my fault now because everything's there. Now, if you have questions, that we can go from there. All right. So let's look at number 1. What we're going to do the numbers first. What is the biggest number that will divide 9 and 45? 9. Okay. The reason why you said 5 is because you said 45 divided by 9 in your head. Okay. That will happen tons today. Okay. Trust me. This is like my 16th or 85th thousandth year teaching, and it happens all the time. All right. So if we have this right here, and we can't take an X out of any of them because the 45 doesn't have an X. Okay. What is 9X divided by 9? X. Okay. If we divide 9X by 9, the 9's cancel, and I'm just left with X. Okay. Now, what is 45 divided? Yeah. All right. So, yep. Now, that's the, all right. Yeah, we're just doing this problem. We're done. Bam, we killed it. Now, not really. All right. So, there's always that one person. Really? Are you serious? All right. I'm going to white this out because I want to do it this way. Y'all just watch. Okay. Now, let's look at number 2. Number 2. It's the biggest number that will divide everything, all the numbers. That's the GCF. Okay. That was just one example. I don't expect y'all to actually get it on the first one. All right. Let's look at this. The numbers we have are 8, 20, and 12. What is the biggest number that will actually divide all three of those? 4. Okay, so that's the biggest number that will divide all of them. Now, let's look at our variables. What is our smallest exponent of our variables? What's the smallest power? Yeah, x to the first, or just x. So, this is how this would work. I'm dividing it out. This is like the reverse distributive property. I call it the taker-backer property. Okay, distribute, you give everybody something. The taker-backer property, you take it back. All right, or you could call it the repossession property, whatever. Okay, what is 8 divided by 4? 2. Okay, these are what's left over after we divide by our GCF. All right, this is x to the third, which is like this, divided by x. Well, how many of those will cancel? 1. This is like subtracting. If I have 3 on top and 1 on the bottom, 1 will cancel, leaving me 2 on top. Okay. What is 20 divided by 4? 5. Okay. How many x's is going to be left after I take one of them out? Okay. And this is a minus, so this is going to be a minus here. What is 12 divided by 4? 3. What about the x's? They cancel, yeah. So we're done. The GCF for this one is actually 4x. One thing, and I forgot to change it for y'all's notes because I'm a horrible teacher, but this right here, whatever I'm dividing by and what's out front, this is my GCF. Yes. Yes. The only thing that we can take out of all three terms, the smallest power of x is x to the first. That's why it's x. Yes. Okay, if I have an x and I divide an x out, how many x's are left? None. So it goes away. Yeah. All right. Let's look at this one. So let's look at our numbers. We got 18 and 12. What is the biggest number that's going to divide both of them? 6. Okay. Now, so, all right. Hey, guys, I need y'all to discuss that quietly because, like, y'all are like, oh my gosh! And y'all are 30 feet away and it sounds like you're right here. Listen, I am too. I am furious. Listen, there's this thing called GPS. Hey, just be glad he didn't try to take you to Clements High School, which is on the other side of Limestone County. That would have been funny. Okay, so we have a 6. Now, with our x's, what is our smallest power of x? We have 6 and 3. Which one's smaller? 3. So that's our GCF. Okay. Yeah. I didn't write it there because it gets really messy with doing it like this. So I like doing kind of my own thing. And that's why I have it like this. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. What? Never mind. I answered your question without even speaking. Oh, you didn't get your. Oh, you answered yourself. Oh, I thought I was just being awesome. Okay, so what is 18 divided by 6? 3. All right, with my x's, if I have 6 of them and 3 of them mysteriously disappear, how many? Yeah, I have 3 left. Okay, so hey, potato, potato. What is 6 or what is 12 divided by 6? 2. If I have 3 x's and they move to other schools, how many x's do I have at this school? There you go. Some of y'all are like, he got this off Criminal Minds, didn't he? Okay. All right, let's look at number 4. What's the greatest common factor? Hey, which number are you talking about? 3 or 4? Okay, the greatest common factor, as I stated before, is this thing out here. 6x to the third. Yes. Was it 3x? Okay, what's 18 divided by 6? Okay, if I have 6 x's and I take 3 of them away, how many do I have? Okay, so number 4. Yeah, 5 is actually going to be my GCF of the numbers. Okay. All right. Well, I heard it somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to just x to the first because that's the smallest exponent. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of because, like, with the numbers, it's the biggest number that you can divide out, but with the variables, it's the smallest power. Yeah. All right. What is 15 divided by 5? Whoa. And people are already saying to the second power and squared, and I'm just now put a parenthesis. Okay. There's going to be a minus right here because there's a minus right there. 25 divided by 5 is, yep. If I have two x's and one of them goes away, just x. What's my last term going to be right here? Plus 11. Okay. Now, so if you look back at the top of your page where it says write the leftovers in the parentheses, this is what's funny. Okay. Thanksgiving is coming upon us. When I go to my mom's house, we have to bring our own Tupperware. If not, we get like 6 things of stuff with in a Cool Whip um, plastic container, and maybe something that looks like butter, but it's not butter because she just reuses the plastic containers. All right, think about it. This was the main meal. Everybody ate the common things, and that's right here. These are the leftovers in the parentheses in the Tupperware. That's how I think. Oh, I got one person that understands. Yes, killing it. All right, so let's move down here to number 8. Okay, let's move down here to number 8. Boo, people actually want to do extra work. What kind of math students are these? Oh my goodness. It's like I created a monster. Okay, now, yeah, it is 6x. Yeah. Yep. Okay. What about number 6? Whoops. Oh, so we don't have to do number 6? It is 4. Number 7 is actually, believe it or not, is actually the easiest one. Hang on, we're not there yet. Easy, easy. Well, we did it, and because we have so many people that are high speed, we're doing it. We're moving on. All right. Okay. Now, number 7, we have a 5x squared and an x. There's the only number we can actually take out of that would actually be 1. Okay. But what about the x's? What can we take out of it? Yeah, just an x. Now, what is anything divided by itself? What's 2 divided by 2? That would actually be a 1 right there. A lot of people forget that. Are you doing your stuff in pen? There's I just got in like 900 pencils yesterday. Okay. All right. So, Now can we move on to 8, please? Okay. I just accidentally hit something. All right. So I wonder what this says at the beginning in regular terms. Yeah. Yeah. If the first number is negative, you always factor out a negative. Okay. So that's what we are going to have to do here. We're going to have to factor out a negative out of all three of these. Okay. So we know it's going to be negative. So I'll go ahead and I'll put my negative down there. What is the largest number that will divide all three of those numbers? 2. What is my smallest power of x? Yeah, to the first, or x. All right. Now, remember, when we're dividing by that negative, when we're factoring it out, that means dividing by it. That's if we divided -2 by -2, that gives us a positive. We divided a positive 14 by a negative, we get a negative. Negative divided by negative is a positive. Okay. All right. All right. You see how it says if I marked out leading coefficient and wrote down first number is negative? Yeah. All right. Good deal, Pickle. All right. So what's the first thing that we're going to factor out of these numbers for number 9? Yeah, we're going to make sure it's a negative, so I'm going to put that down. What's the biggest number that will divide 5 and 35? Okay. Now we have two different variables. Does that mean anything special? No. What's the smallest power of x? What's the smallest power of y? Okay, let's see. Everything out of here would go to 1 except for this. And this becomes a -7. Oh, I didn't know. Like thumbs up means you get it, in the middle means you kind of get it, and thumbs down means no way, Jose. Okay, good question. Where did I get the x in the parentheses? All right, so -5 divided by 5, those cancel out. Okay, the y's cancel out. I have 2 right here. I divide 1 out, so how many do I have left? Yeah. I probably did that one a little bit faster than I should. I just got excited. Kind of like y'all do. Y'all get excited. Mm, unforgivable. All right. Number 10. What's the first thing we're going to divide out? Well, yes, but there's something else. A negative. We're actually dividing out a negative x. Okay, because our first number is negative. All right. So now, if I have 3 x's, I take one away. How many do I have left? Okay. Now, this is a positive divided by a negative, so this will be negative. If I have 2 x's and I take one out, just x. Very good. And anything divided by itself, all right. Now, so Now, as far as GCF problems, there may be one, there may be two. The reason why this whole concept is the basis for what we're doing on the back that's it. Okay. Well, I bet you're going to be able to get this. Okay. Now, I did notice, unfortunately, this morning, because I thought I made this handout really good yesterday afternoon. I felt super great about myself and realized I can't have nothing. And I did not give y'all a lot of room to do this at the top of the page on the back. Yeah. Now, I'm going to, I want y'all to look at this kind of two different ways. I just want y'all to watch this example. Now, some of y'all might be saying, oh no, we're doing the box method again. Yes and no. Okay. And I actually had a collaborative teacher. They helped me with this one year. And I was like, I like this method better than the other one. It seems to be less steps. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to write each term in one of these boxes. Like this. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to look right here at this row. What is the GCF between x to the fourth and 4x to the third? X to the third. Very good. All right. Now, so I did that row. Let's look at this row. What's the biggest thing I can take out of 2x and 8? A 2. All right. Now, I'm going to look at this column right here, this up and down. What's the only thing I can take out of x to the fourth and 2x? X. Okay. You ready? This is our answer. Nope. See, that's why I like this, because to me, it seems to be less steps. Okay. And I had a lot of my Algebra 2 students that said this makes a whole lot more sense than the way we used to do it. Okay. That they can look at this and remember the rows and the columns, and what's ever on the outside for each row and column, that's your GCFs. So I write, if you look, these are right here, and these are right here. Yep. No, as long as that the X, you could actually write this as the order doesn't matter as long as those that are grouped together stay the same. Does that make sense? Okay, that's good. All right. So that's it. Now, I could show another way. And I don't think the other way is really going to work for some of y'all because it seems kind of messy. I will show y'all individually if you would like to see the other way, but as a group, I want to kind of stick with this if that's okay. Are y'all okay with that? Can I show it to you individually? What? Okay, I will show y'all individually later, okay? All right. So let's look at number 1. Okay, we're actually going to only do the odds for right now. Okay, now, all right, so this is number 1. Now, I just want y'all to watch both methods right quick. Okay, you don't have to do anything, just watch. That is not what I needed to do. Okay, I thought I had all this grouped together. All right, so 3x to the third plus 15x squared minus 2x minus 10. Okay, what? It does say plus 15. I would, because you'll see in a second why. All right. So if I'm looking at this column right here, or this row, I'm sorry, what's the biggest thing I can take out of 3 and 15? 3. What's the smallest power of x? Yeah, x squared. Very good. Now, this row right here, remember, when the first number is negative, we have to factor out a negative. That's what keeping the signs in there. So we know we're going to have a negative. What's the biggest thing I can divide out of 2 and 10? Okay. What about this column right here with the 3x to the third and the minus 2x? X. And what about this right here? We have 15x squared and minus 10. Yeah, I heard it. 5. Okay. Yes. All right. I need you to check what you have with what I have up here. Are the same numbers still grouped together? Then yes. All right. So I said I'd do it individually, but we're going to look at number 2 in what's called the factor by grouping method. Okay. This is also factor by grouping. I just like this. It just seems neater. And if you could tell by my room, I need some neat in my life. All right. So for number 2, we're going to do it the other method. Okay. So if you don't want to listen, just tune me out for about 3 minutes. Okay. All right. So this is the other method for those that wanted to see it. The first thing you do is you group these with parentheses. Okay. Then you go through what's my GCF between 8 and 12? 4. And then it will be an X right here. All right. So this would be 4x. All right. What's the only thing I can divide out of 2xy and 3y? A y. So I put that GCF right here. Now, we put our GCFs together, and we put our leftovers together. This method is nothing more than the double distributive property in reverse. Okay, so now you have different methods. You can decide which one works better for you. Okay. Huh? All right. The last step. These are my GCFs. I put those together. Okay. These were my leftovers after I divided out, and I put those together. Okay. Were you a table method or double distributed property? Hide, you don't know? So there's different ways. Now, this seems to be messy to me. This I said to me. Some people love this method. They're all over this like a fat kid on a cupcake, okay? Or me on a donut, either one. So there, huh? Yeah. So that's now you have a couple different ways, okay? Are y'all good over there with y'all's hand holding? Okay. By the way, that what I just said is it will be online later for millions to hear. All right. So we're still sticking with the odds. Okay. We're only doing the odds right now. That's not what I just copied. Are you kidding me? Cheese and crackers. All right. Crackers. That's so old. Well, you know what? It's kept me from saying cuss words in the classroom for 17 years, so I think it works. All right. So, if you're doing it with the box method, this is how you would set it up. Okay? If you're doing it with the grouping method, you would start this way. And make sure that you actually copy the problem down right because Mr. Jeffries accidentally wrote something down wrong. Okay. So this gives me x squared. This gives me minus 5. This gives me x. This gives me 2. What do you mean where I get x2? This one? Well, what's the GCF between x to the third and 2x squared? What's the smallest power, 2 or 3? Nope. Didn't divide it. Bless you. Now, one thing that you should notice if you're doing the actual grouping method right here, you'll know if you did something right if these are the same. The leftovers have to be the same for when you do it this way. And again, either method doesn't matter. You're going to get x squared minus 5 together and x plus 2 together. Either way is fine. Okay. So here's the thing with having multiple methods. Um, there is not a way with that I can have everybody doing the same method and it all be okay. All right. Not a way. So um you know I'm gonna try. That's why I'm doing the odds, so I can do either method. Okay. Yes. All right. The exponents, the GCF with the exponents, it's the smallest exponent that you divide out, that you can take out of both of them, out of everything. Like for instance, if you had 75 cents, okay, and he had 50 cents and I had a quarter. What's the smallest amount we can take out of all three of ours equally? A quarter, 25 cents, right? That's it's the it's weird with the exponents. Okay. All right. We're going to skip 4. We're going to come back and look at that later. Let's look at 5. Okay. All right. Get this set up here. I had a student one time tell me they can't do the box method because they don't know how to draw a box in a straight line. I'm like, me either. All right. So looking at this, I can take out, looks like to be a 3y because that's the smallest exponent of y. Bless you for whomever just sneezed or whatever that was. Okay. All right. This will be 3y. This will be as plus z. This would be 2y. And this would be a minus 1. So either way you do this, you should actually end up with this. Okay. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to do it both ways. Uh, I don't know about giving pre-made boxes. I'll have to look and see if I have something at my disposal for that. I can't put pre-made boxes on all the tests because not everybody uses this method. But I may have a separate handout just for that. So we'll have to see. What now? You hate the Is the reason you hate the boxes because you have a hard time drawing them? Okay. Well, hey, the only way, listen, if I was drawing this freehand, it would look like this. Okay. That's how my boxes would look if I were drawing it freehand. Why? I did. I just drew. Listen. All right. So I'll do 6. My students are making me draw a box because they want to bully me. No, that's how I cannot draw. Listen, do y'all remember me graphing? I could never make a straight line, anyways. So, yeah, my favorite is when I had to draw 3D drawings on 2D paper. That made a lot of sense. All right, so All right, so this would be x squared. This would be minus 7y. Y. This would be plus 3. All right, so either way, all right, so now for recording purposes, this is actually where we're going to stop because we have a your turn, and I want my students to work on those without me sitting here doing this for 10 minutes as they do it, because nobody wants to look at that for 10 minutes. All right, so don't forget, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell. Good stuff, good things.